Hello everyone, my name is Demaine Peters Jr., a PhD student at Alabama A&M University. The title of my presentation is Framing Race, a critical race theory analysis of media representation of racial minorities. In this work, I explore how racial minorities are portrayed in the media, how these portrayals reinforce or challenge dominant narratives, and what implications this has for behavioral health and social work. So let's move on to my background. Media is a powerful mechanism in shaping how race is socially constructed. Critical race theory, or CRT, teaches us that racism is not just individualized, but built into social systems like education, healthcare, and the media. Stereotypical portrayals of Black, Latinx, and indigenous populations are common in news, entertainment, and advertising. These portrayals can influence public attitudes, reinforce systemic biases, and contribute to behavioral health disparities. So, my research question is, how do media representations of racial minorities reinforce or challenge dominant narratives, and be, what are the implications for behavioral health when analyzed through a critical race theory lens? So let's move on to critical appraisal and inclusion criteria. So, to explore this, I conducted a critical appraisal of more than 20 scholarly articles using the CASP checklist and a critical race theory informed approach. I prioritized studies that focus on the intersection of race, media, and behavioral health stigma. The literature was highly interdisciplinary, which it spanned across media studies, psychology, and social work, which strengthened the analysis. However, many of these studies lacked direct data linking media exposure to specific health care outcomes. I included only peer-reviewed US-based studies between 2010 and 2024. Articles were excluded if they were not English, focused solely on international media, or discussed race directly, addressing media or critical race frameworks. So let's move over to the themes and gaps. So three major themes emerged. First, stereotype reinforcement. Minorities are often portrayed as violent, poor, or mentally unstable. They are shown. They are shown how they are basically not well put together in some people's eyes. So moving along, the second is counter storytelling. Social and independent media sometimes offer more accurate and affirming narratives that challenge mainstream stereotypes. Third, behavioral health impact. Negative portrayals can increase stigma, fear, and reduce help seeking behavior in communities of color. I also found that provider perception is shaped by the media bias, especially in behavioral health settings, where biases can influence diagnosis and treatment. However, there are still major gaps. Very few studies apply critical race theory, especially in behavioral health, and there's a need for more research that explores how media narratives influence health seeking and resilience. So let's move on to implications. Um, this analysis um, has several implications. One, we need to incorporate media literacy and critical race theory into provider training and cultural competency education. Next, behavioral health professionals must recognize and challenge stereotype threats in interactions. Policymakers and advocates can work with a community media producers to promote positive mental health messaging. Lastly, more research is needed to connect critical race theory informed media analysis to real world health of outcomes. So, to conclude, media matters, and so does the lens through which we examine it or look through. By applying CRT to media analysis, we can better understand how racial narratives shapes public health and identities, and how racial narratives shape public health, identity, and access to care. Because we all see in the media how things are played out. They know who to choose for different things, for different scenarios. So I do think that how the media needs to be more aware of things, be more educated, and really be mindful of how they portray different people of color. So that was my presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch my presentation. I look forward to your questions and feedback. Um, this presentation was very fun and challenging to work on. Um, I'm hoping I can do more and do more research around this topic. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much.